All right, what's up, guys? We're live. Sorry, we're a couple minutes late, but I'm very excited tonight. Lauren Taylor, welcome back.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm good. Just a disclaimer for all of you that are like, "What happened to your face?" I've had, for those of you that know my story, I've had tons of jaw surgeries and such this summer. Another procedure. Went a little south 2 days ago, so I'm totally fine. I look horrific. I thought I did a better job with the makeup till I turned the camera on. But I'm fine. All is well, and I'm happy to be here. So don't worry about my face, as alarming as it looks. All is well. So thanks for having me, Blake. I had a lot of fun when we did this. So
yeah, no, it's going to be great. And man, I guess next week, I think is Project70's kicking off, right? They just finally announced it.
Yeah, I'm
17th.
I'm excited. This is not your first rodeo, but it's mine. So a little bit nervous, a little bit excited.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a great time. I think you're gonna. I mean, I'm confident you're gonna crush it. A lot of people are very excited for your cards. I'm very excited for your cards, and there's nothing like getting the first one in the mail.
I know. That's what I'm most like. I tried to do like a mock-up to print them out and see. I even got like the top loader, the same type of magnetic case, not top loader, but the one touch, just to get it as close to realistic as I could to make sure everything looked right. And yeah, it was even weird just holding that. I'm like, oh crap, like a baseball card.
Okay, this is the first sage advice for the project.
Yeah,
start getting those one touches in mass whenever you have the opportunities. If you're at card shops and they have some, start picking them up.
I learned that over the holidays because I sent all my prints in top loader 11 by 14s because of all the plastic guards that they're making for COVID. It was like I just kept ordering, and then on like the 28th, I got hundreds in the mail. But yeah, so similar thing with the one touch. It's like I just order them, and if they come in, great. But a lot of times it kind of it's hit and miss. So
and,
I've got 10.
Andy, will you hand me a pack of team bags? Also, you're gonna want to get these. Start ordering them now. BCW team bag sets. So these are.
I have had a hell of a time getting BCW to ship to Canada, but
maybe I can ship some.
They do, yeah. I might need you to. I usually order top
loader. I'm gonna start stock. We're starting to stockpile these too. So those. You're going to get your cards. You're going to, if the cases are scratched, you're probably going to want to replace the case on your, They do.
I just saw that from just moving it around my coffee. Mine's already scratched.
Yeah.
The one.
Yeah. I mean, if you don't have them in those team bags, prevent that though. So as soon as, like, once you put a card in a new one touch, team bag it straight away.
You need to write this down.
Yeah. Eric says that Ultra Pro makes the team bags as well. So does Roderick.
Okay.
Ken Carl in the house. What's up? Mike Roble, how's it going?
Hi. I just turned on the comments. I can actually see
it. Yeah. Well, that's great because I was actually thinking, like, I mean, I didn't really have an agenda for tonight, but one of the things I was thinking of is just trying to think of any advice I would have given to myself right before Project 2020 started, and right off the bat, those two things came to mind. So.
Yeah, I've been trying to think ahead of. You've been helpful with a lot of things, just in general. The thing that's been helpful for me with what I'm doing in terms of the art is, as a licensed MLB artist, I kind of know that process, so it wasn't confusing with the Getty or all that stuff was easy peasy what I do anyway. But the card world is new to me, and I'm most prepared from what I saw with Project. Fine to say Project 2020, Topps 2020 project. It's like the new Apple Watch. Everyone wanted to say iWatch forever. That's what I feel like I'm doing. But the shipping delays with Topps I love the way you handled it. Like, there's only so much we can do, right, when it's not us shipping. So I'm trying to think how to,
Yeah.
you were very proactive with that in terms of being helpful to your customers when you could, but also knowing, what you can and cannot. But it sounds like Topps is having, I could be wrong, I think though they're getting them made specifically for the project this time instead of outsourcing, which hopefully
yeah, I hope so. And that reminds me, so another lesson learned: don't sell any autos before you have the cards in hand.
No,
I did that with Trout, and got a lot of returns. Yeah, I mean that was the card that like got held up in shipping for months.
Well, and that was the one that had the biggest swing too, didn't it? Like that was like the peak of the project in terms of prices. Like, and then so yeah, I once did a pre-order before a print was approved, and realized how big of a mess it was going to be if it didn't get approved. And thank God it was fine. But there was a minute where I was like, why did I do that? Like, every time I get these stickers and everything. So yeah,
Speaking of approvals, I actually just had my first just tonight. Topps or MLB said no, like they're making me change something. So it's annoying because it's the kind of thing that wouldn't have been needed to be changed in Project 2020, but they're just being really strict.
I've had 3 prints. I've had changes required. One was the first of the first 4 that I submitted for. This is just my general prints for approval. I was like, is this how it's always going to be? Because if it is, like, this is going to. So my Ohtani print, for those of you that aren't familiar with it, which I'm sure is a lot, it was one of my first prints, but I did cherry blossoms in the name of his hometown in his jersey, and the cherry blossoms are pink, but I was asked if it was blood splatter. I was like, no, I'm doing art really bad if that looks like blood splatter. And like the twigs are those ligaments. I'm like, no, God, Jesus. And so I was like thinking to myself, like, this is going to be really, but ever since then, it's been like little tiny tweaks, like wrong logo. Because when you get into Hall of Fame, there's so many logos. So I try, if you get someone like Brooks Robinson, who played across several different logos, I would just go with the year he had his rookie season. Anyway, little changes like that. But I've been straight up denied on free prints that had to just go in the bin. 2 were George Brett. I cannot get a George Brett print through. Pine tar bats off limits, apparently. And Joe Kelly, I got denied. I tried to make that as PG as possible too, and I stayed up all night working on it, and it didn't make it. But I get why. I mean, Players Association represents all players, including the Astros, and I get it. And then another George Brett, because there was champagne celebrations in the jersey.
Wow.
George Brett's just not meant to be for me, apparently. He's the print that I just can't seem to. Yeah, but we'll see. I'm excited. I really am happy with the first card, and I just wrapped up my second one. I think we have the same deadlines, right?
Yeah, I think all the artists do, I think.
Yeah, so yeah, it's kind of surreal though, because I'm sure it was for you too. Like,
calm before the storm.
Yeah, I'm excited. A little bit nervous, a little nervous. You know what's funny? So what was the thing, I wanted to ask you this actually. Okay, 2 things actually. What was the one thing you were most nervous about before it launched? And what was an obstacle for you mentally that you didn't anticipate after it launched? I'm a mental person.
Yeah. Okay.
That's always what I'm trying to think about, is how to
manage. I didn't think. I mean, I guess I was most nervous that it wouldn't sell at all. Like it wouldn't sell any copies. I wasn't. You can be pretty proactive with like Jeff, or at least you could in Project 2020, of like asking him what the print runs, like how is the print run doing, and like he'll usually like tell you, but I mean I didn't know that was even possible, so like I had no idea, and at the time like I had bought like 10 cards of mine, and I'm like I don't, who knows, like a handful, I saw people online telling me that they bought them, which is cool. Oh, we lost her. We'll wait till she comes back. If you guys have questions too, put them down in the comments. Tess, I will see if she will tease her first card. Yeah, sweet swing.
Sorry.
Yay. No worries. Welcome back.
You cut out right when you start over. I don't know what happened. It just completely disappeared on me.
Yeah, I mean, so like I just so what I was most nervous about is that like the fact that Topps was about to publish, was going to publish the print run, and like I was refreshing like the day after the sale closed, like,
Yeah.
trying to see what it was. And it was at the time like I was really excited to see that number. And what was the other question? What was I most excited about? And then
like what once it went live, whether it was your first card, your 10th card, or whatever, what was an obstacle you didn't foresee being tough for you? Like, was there anything that you were like, wasn't prepared for that? Outside of the shipping stuff, which we've already gone over, which I think everybody.
I don't know. I mean, you're already in like the space, so I just think that like card collectors can be very particular, and like I don't know, just like I would just get a lot of like weird, like there'd be so many tiny little requests from people that all wanted different things.
I'm already getting that. I get that.
Like, okay, so like, for example, right now at the beginning, like if there's a Project 2020 and the player list was out, somebody might like send me a DM saying, okay, I'm excited for your Ken Griffey Jr. card. Tell me when that one comes out. And like trying to like manage all that, it's like just ridiculous. So like, don't even worry. Don't get too caught up in the minutia. Like I think even like, you're going to get people asking a lot of the same questions too. Like, can I send in my cards for autographs? Are you going to sell colored numbered autograph cards? When are you going to launch those? Where will they be for sale? What's your address? Can I mail you something? Can I mail you fan art? Like, all these things. Like, I think it's worth coming up with like a frequently asked questions. Like basically, like even if it's like a note stock in your phone that you can quickly like copy paste to and send people. And when you do, I think when you do expand your business, which I think I'm guessing this year you will hire some employees. I think the first one should be something like managing those communications, because that becomes the most stressful and distracting, because it's really easy to get caught up in every tiny little piece of the business.
I think you're similar in a sense that we both care a lot about pleasing our customers, and it's not just about, like, for me, this is what I absolutely love to do. So I like to keep in mind that the reason I get to do it is because people support my art. So I think that'll be a challenge for me too. Is it already has, it's come up this year for me with the holidays, because my Dodgers print did better than any commemorative piece I've done so far, mixed with the holiday rush of everyone ordering online. And suddenly I was like, oh my God, I don't have anyone to help me. And then once it's like trying to learn someone to teach you how to breaststroke when you're drowning. Like I could not just bring someone in at that, be like, this is how we do things. So I had some really long nights, and it was that same thing of like people. Just a reminder, I didn't get beat or hit. This is from a procedure on my job. I'm all good. Just a heads up for those of you that are mentioning that. But the questions, like I always want to get back to people, but it's like you said, I'm already getting emails like, hey, are you doing this player? And if so, this is how I'd like to see it done. I'm like, yep. Oh, okay. People aren't shy, which is great. I mean, there's always, I love that they care enough to send their thoughts, but I've tried to set myself up mentally as best I can. Cause for me, I'm going to need to not look at comments on Topps posts when my card goes out. That is going to be critical for me. Or at least going through it with a very like, these are nice comments. Oh, don't read that one. Keep going. Like that's going to be my challenge.
I think, I mean, it's going to happen regardless. It's going to happen. But I think I've told you like that I have like a folder of mean tweets.
We were talking about we should do an episode of those. Read me.
I think we should, and I think it's a good time, like at the start of the project, of like, and I'll do the same thing and put more of them in there. And I think that's almost a good way of just like processing it too, and then being like, okay, I acknowledge it, and it's in the folder. Let it go. Like, that's just whatever.
It is, and I try and remember like the people that are watching this are here because they like our art. And I think I either told you this or another Scott Hodges. I can't remember if I was telling you that, but whenever I'm like really bothered by negative comments or even the thumbs down, I'm like, no. I'm like, why? Can I have some more information? Why is it thumbs down? But I go to Adele, who, come on, Adele's got, or like Whitney Houston. Tell me you can't sing better. Like, incredible voice. And you look at their YouTube video and they've got like thousands of thumbs down. Like, boo! So if Whitney Houston can be told her voice sucks, I figure it's going to happen no matter what. And the positive has definitely outweighed the few negative. It's just sometimes the mindset I have to remember. So I'm excited. I'm really excited. Someone asked how my dogs were. I just saw that pop up. They are good. My ass is barely on the couch because they take all the space. My other one's lying over there, but they're, for whoever asked that, thank you. They're the best. They are the best. They've been taking care of me for a few days. They've been letting me be lazy. So
yeah. Awesome. Let's see. What else? Oh boy. Well, I filmed a lot of content last year from the beginning. And hadn't really done much with it because at the time then I was like live streaming, but I wasn't doing anything with that footage until now. And it's really fun to look back. So I would say record as much as you can, even if you're like, seems like you're going to do something boring.
Gary Vee talks about that a lot. He says, film everything that you can. And
just save it.
Yeah. And I've been thinking more and more about that, like just how I want to kind of record the process that doesn't change how I create. Like I'm still in that mindset of almost like a meditation when I'm creating, and I love that. And sometimes when I do a time-lapse video, I start worrying about like, Jesus, I've gotten up for like the 30th time in the last 5 minutes because I can't remember anything. I like go to the kitchen and I forget what it is doing, and then there's like a spot in the time-lapse where just no one's there and my dog's just walking back.
I had plenty of those too.
Yeah. So it's trying to kind of stay true to my process, but also expand on the content and sharing more and more. And I mean, I absolutely love the interaction. I think you get quite a bit too, but if people have commented that I haven't gotten back to, I hate that. It's just I only have so many hours in the day, but they mean the world to me when people comment on my art or share it or like it. It's neat. I mean, 5 years ago, this was not my game plan. So it was fun. It was a hobby, but I would be like so stoked tonight because it's Friday and I wouldn't have to work for 2 days. And Monday I'd be sad because I'd be back to my Excel spreadsheets and wearing adult pants and not yoga pants. Dogs, you know. So
I do.
Yeah, so I just feel it's gonna be fun, and I'm also glad to see more female representation, even selfishly that I'm one of them. But so glad to see some more females on that list. Sophia, is that right? Is it? She did wonderful work, and I feel like I owe her a high five and kudos because she represented the ladies quite well in Project 2020. So I'm glad we have a few more.
Yeah.
Oh, someone asked how many women. I don't know.
Yeah, my sister asked. Tim says it thinks at least 5, which is awesome. Amazing. Yeah, it's gonna be great. I want to go through the list, and I bet it probably already exists. There should be a spreadsheet online with every artist's like website, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, like all their stuff. That needs to. Topps should put that together, but somebody else will instead.
Someone will. And I think are you going to do a video? The video.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's kind of due soon, isn't it?
I asked for a couple day. I asked if I could do it maybe in a few days when I don't look like I got curb stomped. So I'm going to do mine a little later next week. But yeah, it'll be nice to broaden kind of the scope and be able to talk about. Yeah, I don't know about you, but I had a hell of a time figuring out that one little, however many characters you're allowed to have on the back of the card. I was like, I don't know how to sum my life up and of why I'm doing this and what I do, and I don't even know technical art terms. I just make stuff.
That one came to me. Michael had told me it was due, and I just forgotten. And then he texted me, and he's like, "Hey, you never sent me this." And I was like, "All right, I'll write it right now." And I just like typed it, like just texted to him. He's like, "Wow, I wish it was that easy for all the artists." But I actually thought it was fun. Like I was kind of more tongue in cheek, and it was more conversational than my Project 2021.
I didn't know you before Project 2020, but even since then, I can kind of see, and what I admire about you, and I think I've said this before, is that you've kind of come. I really respect people in business that try to get somewhere while also showing that kindness can do that. And that's, I think I wrote that on the back of my gratitude project I made for you. It's like, my goal with this project is bigger than the project. My goal has always been bigger than my art, and that's mental health awareness and all that stuff. But showing that you don't have to be cutthroat to get to the top.
Sure.
And I've really appreciated that about you. I feel like the time that you've taken to even like that tiny argument, if you can even call it that, between you and Ben Baller for a minute. The way that you handled that, like, it just goes to show, and that's not speaking poorly about Ben Baller. I barely remember the conversation, to be honest with you, but I've seen your confidence. I feel like I've seen you grow as a person, but you still stay true to being a good person first and a successful business person second. And I feel like that's missing in a lot of what we're taught, and especially like women entrepreneurs. Sometimes we think we have to like fight even harder to get to the top, and we maybe do in some genres for sure. But I just love that you have brought two parts to this project. One, your unique style and awesome art skills, but two, your willingness to do it in a way that's not often talked about, which is through being kind first and caring about your customers first. And then even when you've made it, you're still focused around being a good person first, unless you really suck and you just I catch
it well.
But unless you're terrible and I only read like positive things about you. But that's kind of my goal with the project too, is to keep building on the idea that this art is just a springboard for bigger things to me, which I know it's kind of random, but I was thinking about like goals for this project, and for me it's keeping true to Lauren Taylor Illustrations, which is, started with me drawing pencil drawings of my dog and evolved into what I do now, which is not pencil, it's mixed media, but and having an opportunity to kind of bring kids in, and I wasn't a very cool kid. I know that may come as a shocker, but no, it doesn't. I was really weird, and I had a mullet. It wasn't good. It wasn't good.
Nice.
But like reminding people that you can be super nice on social media and still do cool things. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like sometimes it feels like it's only people that get to the top are the ones that like have no problem bulldozing whoever they need to. And you've proven time and time again that that's not the case. And I'm grateful for that. And I'm sure other people in this group who are watching can attest to that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
I've told you that before, but I can't say it enough. It's a big deal to me.
It's gonna be fun. I'm excited, and it's such a cool experience getting to go through it again now. And like, like I think when like we first met last year, and I was like pretty new to the project. We hit it off right away. Like it was like seemed like a pipe dream at that time, and I remember being like, "Oh, this would be like you would crush it at something like this," and like here we are now, a little less than a year later, and we're about to do it.
No,
it's pretty great.
It is great. Exciting.
I saw, somebody asked, I don't know who asked the question, but Brandon Ewing asked, what new Topps artists are you looking forward to seeing in Project 70? So kind of similar to last year, where seeing Gregory Siff's name on the list, I was really, really excited because I had followed his art for a long time. and that was great. There's this artist named Mikhail Brandup. I don't know exactly even how to say his last name, but he just goes by like Michael or Mikhail B. And his work is so sick. And he was on the list, and so I'm super pumped. I would love to like connect with him. I think his cards are just going to be totally wild. I think like if I could explain him in Project 2020 artists, it'd be like if Ermsey and Naturel did things together, which is really cool. So that's an artist that I'm really excited to see.
That's awesome. I actually have it kind of on my list of things I want to tackle in the next week is going through each of those artists because just being honest, I don't know a lot of the names. But I did notice that they're bringing a different. They're not just bringing in artists like you and I that make things on wood or canvas or paper. They're bringing in clothing designers and people that do stuff with shoes. I'm excited to see how that's going to translate into cards. And of course, like everyone, I'm kind of curious what the hell Snoop Dogg's going to make. I mean, come on, we're all a little curious. But yeah, there's I want to answer that question for sure, but would like to make sure I've actually looked up all the artists, which has been top of my priority because it's really neat to see the different. I think Topps has done a good job. Remember when I first saw Topps 2020, I was like, different, very different set of, but they didn't seem like sports artists. And I was like, this is interesting, but it was brilliant because it brought like, you kind of like, for me now, I'm curious to see how some of these artists take making, what is it? The shoe.
Soulfly.
Yeah. And there's another shoe one. I'm so sorry to this person that I don't know the name properly.
That's okay.
Little knob, but what is I noticed it because it was announced with you and I on a post. I was like, oh.
Pull this list up too. Okay. Yeah, I mean, there's so many people on this list.
You know what? I just realized how many photos. The shoe surgeon.
Shoe surgeon.
Yeah. So like people like that, I'm really excited to see. How does their like? I'm most excited about that stuff. Like, I want to see how you're gonna do a card. Like, I just love that. Cool. Yeah, right. So, how is he gonna make a card? That's what I'm dying to know. So those are the ones that interest me the most. I also am a big fan and was very happy to see. Jonas Never with the huge murals because I was in LA and I got to see. I fortunately was there just a few days after Kobe passed away, but seeing his mural and then the Joe Kelly one, I find people that can create murals like it blows my mind. I cannot fathom making an art piece look like anything that's that big. So I'm excited about him. Honestly, everybody is exciting in their own way.
Ron English. I'm a big Ron English fan. I actually just got a signed and numbered print from 1X Run in my.
What did you say his name was?
Ron English.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He's awesome. Risk also. Risk is an OG.
Okay, yeah, Ron English stuff is cool. I see how that would have lots of color.
Jeff Staple. Jeff Staple would be awesome. He's done some. He had a really cool collab with Nike. He did like the pigeon.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, he did stuff with. Yeah, shoes.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I'm following all these people because
I need to go through and follow everyone, but it's good. It's a good list.
It is. It's a good list based on who I know already, and I'm sure it's going to seem even cooler once I actually look up some of these artists that I'm not familiar with. There was one of the other females. I loved her work. I just need to think of her name. I remember looking up her stuff when I saw her name and thinking she was very, very. Everyone's talented on this list, but that I really Brittany Palmer. She does some really cool stuff. Now, I don't know if she's also the model Brittany Palmer, but it doesn't really matter, I guess. But it's just
it's Gregory Siff and Brittany are dating. Also, but yeah, she does the UFC stuff, and like, I mean, honestly, like, I followed her art
stuff. I don't know.
What's that?
If that's even.
You're kind of freezing.
My video feed is so.
Yeah, it's really hard to see with the glare, but yeah, I mean, like, her bright portraits are super dope. Her cards are going to be sick, and I also think still frozen.
Far behind, but like all the different. Anyway, if you. Are we working?
There we go.
Was I frozen on really our face?
No, actually, you were just frozen and holding your phone like that. So that's cool.
Oh.
Brandon asks, how many cards are each? We're each doing 20 cards. Let's see here. Lauren's frozen again, so I'm gonna just scroll up. I'll look at some comments. Bam, bam. Hank Aaron rookie cards. Mike asks. Yep. Oh, are you there? Oh, we lost her. Okay, Mike asked, did Topps provide a blend of retired and current players? How many players to choose from? We got a huge list. All active players, most retired players. There were a few players we couldn't select. For example, Mickey Mantle, they don't have the rights to. I tried to get a Michael Jordan to do a baseball card of him. They wouldn't let me do that. But in general, we had a huge list to choose from. I think Lauren's back. And we are back. Maybe. Bob Ross, Topps artist. Yes, Ron English. Yeah. Pete Rose. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So Mickey Mantle's Panini exclusive. I also tried to do Pete Rose. Couldn't do Pete Rose. I was able to get Doc Ellis, so I'm very excited about that. Yeah, it does seem like old times. Exactly. In and out. Let's see. I could have done. It would have been cool actually to do a Russell Wilson. Like ace card. Would have been cool to do a Kyler Murray card. I do have a crossover athlete that I'm very excited about. I'm trying to not spoil all my surprises from this year's set, but we'll see, guys. I am trying to get way ahead and have a ton more done this time than I did last year. Be 2, 3, 4 cards ahead at all times. No worries. Lauren texted me saying she's trying to fix your computer, which we knew that. LBS asked if Lauren can hint her first card. I know it, but I can't hint it. Sorry, guys. So let's try and go back through these comments. Bo Jackson. Oh, man, Bo would be sick. I do have a Bo. I thought it was handy. Bo Jackson Prince, if you guys saw, it's actually on my Instagram stories. Maybe I can find it for you guys. Here. Where can I find that photo? All right, these were all the prints. I don't know if this is going to show for you guys, but those were all the prints that we signed right there yesterday. And now we're shipping them to Bo, and Bo's going to sign them, which is awesome. Oh, you know what else I'm going to show you guys now? All right, 1 second. I'm going to grab another soda water, and I'm going to grab an auto card that's launching, we think, on Monday. I'm going to tease this for you guys. Let's see. Okay. All right. So hopefully Lauren comes back soon, but we will kill some time. I'm going to show you guys something. So these are, I want some colors too. Well, there's silver. That's fine. All right. So these are some of the new autos that we're doing for the 51s. These are going to come out Monday. There's going to be a 1 of 1 gold, 3 silver, and 10 color of each player, and that's it. So there'll only be 14 autos of each player. But there are 52 players. And they are going to be priced friendlier, lower than we had our P2020 cards. And I changed the autograph, which is really what I kind of wanted to show you guys. So I will be signing these cards with a full long form auto, which, oh man, I wish I had some more of the other color. I want to show you guys some of the colored ones, but I'm pretty excited about it. Oh, there we go. There's a green on Soto. So that'll be kind of a fun thing launching on Monday. And yeah, they look great. I'm also really happy with the Bowman 84 insert sleeves inside the One Touch with the sticker on there. Everything. We got 1 of 1 on the back. Pretty exciting. Oh, let's see. We'll go down to the new comments. Yay.
This is better.
Yay.
This is better?
Yeah. Seems way better.
Oh, thank God. Sorry about that. I don't know
That's
what
all
happened.
right. Well, just in case we lose you again, why don't you tell them that code now?
I will. So yeah, I set up a buy two get one free right before this one. Promo code, make sure I don't say the wrong thing, is Project70. So all lowercase, 70, not spelt out, all one word.
And sorry, I didn't give them any context into what it was. So.
Oh, good. Okay, good.
Yeah.
You'll never know. You just have to buy stuff and see if it works. No, it's so if you go on my website, LaurenTaylorIllustrations.com, all of my prints right now, well, starting right before this video, are buy two get one free. It's usually the biggest sale I do. I run it on Black Friday and a few other big events. I'm doing it for this weekend only for people that are watching this video. The promo code you need to use is Project70. I'll type it in the comments, all one word. No, not 70% off. Nice try, though. Whoever wrote that. Okay. Don't know how to put my own comment in, so that's good. All right. I'll tell you, it's Project70, all one word, lowercase, and not spelled. Don't spell 70, just 70. But yeah, that's gonna. I'll run it probably through Sunday night and then shut it down just as kind of a kickoff to Project70 and cards and all that fun stuff. And if you're on my mailing list, you'll also get that code tonight. Other than that, that's it. So yeah.
Damn.
Thought it'd be fun to do that.
There we go. Me and my sister also put it in.
Oh, perfect. Thank you.
Cool. Brandon asked if there's going to be chrome or foil finishes like they did on some of Project 2020 cards on Project 70 cards. We don't know yet, but we didn't know in Project 2020 that was going to be a thing that happened. And I feel like that did really well. Those cards were popular, so hopefully they do that.
I saw someone. Have you revealed, or do you plan to reveal your first player card, or are you keeping that?
Yeah. So as we get closer, I'm definitely gonna like tease it. I mean, I've like flashed it a couple times, kind of, or like had it kind of in the background, so some people know what it is. But yeah. And the same with another one of my cards has already been screenshotted and posted on the internet. But I'm just gonna. That's fine. People, if they can sneak it, they can sneak it. But I'll slowly, as it gets closer and closer, I'll put out more like kind of official and like, curated content around that card.
I like it. Yeah, I got my first. Did you know who your first cards were going to be out of your list, or did you put them in an order that you actually got?
Well, so for the first 3 that I was assigned, I requested one of them. The first card I requested to do first.
I think I see that one.
Yeah.
That's exciting. Okay.
And then the other 2, I said, maybe I did suggest a couple of my first player. I can't remember. It doesn't really matter. I'm trying to. I want to get like a lot of them done fast, or like, I mean, it doesn't have to be fast. I just like, I don't want to be like rushing to get them done before my deadline, which is something that I did a lot during 2020. And yeah, I just want to get out ahead of it a little bit. We have Greg in the house.
He's called us jerks.
What?
He's called us jerks.
Oh. Will you jerks be going to the National in Chicago? Absolutely. Yeah, 100%.
If they open the border, I'm trapped in Canada right now.
We'll have to sneak you in.
Yeah.
I'm 100% in, but I was 100% in to go to Atlantic City last year, and that didn't happen.
Someone just asked if I'm drinking.
Nice. And yeah.
45.
Yeah, I'm drinking these polar seltzers.
Oh, so I look like the rebel here. The first one's a black eyes. The alcohol looks good. Good look, Good look, Lauren. Yeah.
Yeah. How about you? Are you gonna like tease out your first card at all?
I think I'm gonna take the lead a little bit and see how other artists do, and also gonna see until I know what date my first one's dropping. If it's gonna be a minute, I might tease out once the first card does drop for Project70. Start teasing out a little bit so people don't forget mine's coming. But yeah, it kind of depends. I think on. I don't have the date for mine. I don't know if you do. I know they're planning on getting those of us that don't.
I think we're supposed to get the dates by Monday. I don't have mine either, but
okay, yeah. So I don't either. So once I know, I will probably make a decision based off that. And I know FDOT's done a few like little tiny little tidbits because he has so much fun stuff in his cards. So maybe something like that.
Yeah, you have some fun stuff in your cards.
Yeah, so I might try to do something like that.
But if you show a little part of your card, like people will know who it is.
I know. Well,
I mean, not always, but like
know for sure the team and some history, especially on the first one. The second one, there's no way I could do a little snippet without giving away who it is.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of. This has got to be just painful for people that want to know. We're just over here just chatting, like.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'm curious. So we know Ben Baller's number 1, Ermsy's number 2. Because we saw that leak there that was published on the back.
I saw the Ben Baller thing, but I had no idea where it came from, and I wasn't sure if it was. Sorry, saw that someone said, "Is Canada building a wall to keep it?" Kind of. No, I don't. But there might as well be a wall, though. Literally can't leave at all.
Yeah.
No, they've really tightened restrictions this last couple of weeks too. I've gone to spring training for the last 2 years. It's going to be very strange. I'm kind of bummed about it. So. Oh well. This is though too. Is I wasn't sure how I was going to finagle spring training as well as try to do the deadline for these cards. So yeah, I made 3 different versions of my first card. I think I showed 3 different originals, completely different art pieces because they're just.
Yeah. Well, that's great. More stuff to show and to share and to sell.
Yeah. I'm curious. I'm curious if this person's still on. I saw.
Got Dustin in the house. Dustin is awesome photographer, and one of the cards that I'm doing of one of the players, which I can't say who it is, but I used a photo of his. So that's exciting. And we met through through Project 2020.
Dustin, I believe. I'm gonna text you right now. I think it's the same person. I just met.
Bradford.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, he's great. Joseph says, "Here I am." I don't know if that's who you were asking about. Joseph Galante.
Yeah. Okay. So I just want to make sure. Yeah, I talked to Dustin on the phone the other night.
Nice.
Yeah, I love his stuff. I'm hoping to incorporate one of some of his stuff on my third.
Nice. Awesome. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know what card number is going to be of mine, but I got the photo all picked out, so that's exciting.
That is fun. Yeah, no, there was a comment about that I was curious, only because I'm always curious about these kind of questions. It's not really a question, it's more of a comment. Where is it? Wow. Feel free to talk.
No, I'm going up. I'm trying to read some comments to play catch up on.
Yeah.
So people are speculating that I would be card 3. I don't think I'm card 3. In fact, I'm sure that I'm not because I just got a revision from MLB today on my first card that I need to change. So that's annoying. So no, I'm definitely not card 3. I'm probably closer to card 52. If my card's still not submitted yet. I mean, it's already the 12th and it's not approved. You know.
But I mean, sometimes if I don't know what the request was, but I know when I've had to do small small changes with my prints, the second it's done, it's quick. The approval is quick. If it's something simple, if it's more subjective, then sometimes it goes back and forth a few times. But yeah, so I'm curious what this person means when they say, I know this will come as a shock to most of you, but Topps will let you down. I'm curious if that is specifically about the working with COVID and the shortage of. I honestly can't imagine Topps getting in the same predicament this year with stuff, because if you think about how hard it was to get the supplies they needed to do this, it's not a shock to me that shipments are behind, but I'm curious if that's what that person meant or if there's something else. But see, immediately I have questions about the one comment that's.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I think hopefully they're more prepared. He says that's general from 40 years as a collector.
Well, if it's been 40 years, whose fault is that?
Yeah, I mean they're still in business.
I'm kidding.
People are coming back.
Yeah, they got you.
Scott asks, when does Project 70 start? It starts on February 17th, which is what's that next Wednesday? First 3 cards drop.
5, yeah. So they're doing. I did not know for sure, but are they doing? Do you know if they're doing 3 cards?
I believe it's 3 a day.
Per go. Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. We'll see. I think the first cards are gonna. I think they're gonna do really well.
I think it's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
I don't know what to expect. I know last year a lot of people kind of started trying to play the game in the middle of the project, like, "Ooh, I'll buy this card because I don't think it's gonna sell well," and then those would sell well because people thought they might. Anyway, so yeah, I have a feeling, and I don't know for sure, but I have a feeling people are this time around going to collect more based on who they like either art or players, and maybe not focus so much on, buying a gazillion and hoping to cash a check if that piece or that print has a low print run, or maybe it does well. I don't know for sure, but you would know better than I would. This is the first time doing prints in the form of cards, so yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think some people will look at it as an investment, or a way to make some quick cash. And
That's
like
how I
Project
justify all of
2020.
my baseball card purchases. I'm like, this is an investment.
Yeah. And like Project 2020, I would guess that some people will make money that way. And, we'll see. I don't think it's going to be anything like last year in terms of some of how wild the print run got, with the exception of, you look at Snoop Dogg. I don't know if it just depends on how much he wants to push the card. He could just subtly do it, and like people who know, that's cool. Or he could like really go hard pushing it, and it could be he could do insane numbers, but
Yeah, or it's that, or everyone's just gonna want to see what he makes and be like, oh, okay. I don't know.
people are. I mean, his first cards, I think, is gonna probably. I think his first card will do more than the Keith Shore.
How is it? Everyone's like, oh, it's gonna be a big pot leaf. I'm like, MLB will not approve that.
No, it won't be that.
If they do, then I'm calling bullshit on thinking
Yeah.
cherry blossoms of blood. Anyway, but I don't know. It'll be interesting. I'm excited to see, because this is a much bigger set. We do know that. I think most people have speculated that on their own as well. So I don't know. Some people might be. I doubt as many will go for the full set this time. Do you agree?
Oh yeah, I don't think I think barely anyone will, but
they do.
Some people will. But yeah, I mean, it's too rich for my taste.
I couldn't do it. Yeah.
And it's just like exhausting, of like I just forgot to buy cards so much last year that now I'm trying to fill gaps. And I'm pretty sure I ordered cards that maybe they didn't show up, or maybe there's stuff in my old mailbox. It's a lot to manage.
Yep, it is. I'm gonna be trying to pay attention to deciding. The trick for me, I'm trying to think how many to buy back of my own for fun things like you've done with the color signatures, and I'm sure that'll come with time. I've started to learn that with the prints that I've done. It's been fun seeing collectors are more into that. So
yeah. Well, I think that on your first card, however many you think you should buy, you should probably double it.
I like it.
But that's just me wishing I bought a lot more Nolan Ryans than I did. And I'm happy to talk about specific numbers, either offline or now online. I don't know. I think when Topps first gave us our contract last year for Project 2020, we were supposed to get a discount up to 200 units.
Oh, okay.
And there was a cap. I don't know if in the new contract if there is a cap anymore.
I didn't see one, but I probably should.
But at some point during Project 2020, I asked to like buy more than that, and they said that was okay. So they did let me go over, but I did go way over on some cards, and I have a lot of inventory, which I think is going to prove to be a really good investment.
I think you're
either this year or in future years. But I think if I were you, if there was a cap of 200, I would suggest buying like 100 or 200 of them.
Yeah.
But
it's just mind blowing that I'm buying my own baseball cards. So for those, some people know I do this, not everyone, just because I can't keep up with doing it for everyone. So I haven't announced it as much lately, but some people know I have kind of an offshoot of Lauren Taylor Illustrations. It's a quieter part of my brand that I tried to open social media pages for it and realized I can barely keep up with my Lauren Taylor Illustrations one. So I don't have them running anymore really, but Create Without Fear was the whole idea. And it was about using art or any type of creative outlet, whether it's writing, singing, whatever, to kind of work through difficult times. And so what I've done since the holidays is tried to, and got a little lesson on how expensive cards are right now just to buy hobby boxes and stuff. But I open them and I separate them by team, and then I make these like little, like these little tiny mini. This is of the Mets, or sorry, Giants. This is a Giants one. And kids that say Giants are their favorite team, I'll send this with a little journal that has the Create Without Fear logo and some colored pencils so that they can kind of do their own thing. And it's allowed me to kind of learn more about the cards too, because it's like I get to kind of thumb through them and you start to see the repeats. And that's when I kind of wished I had included, maybe taken a risk on a, and I may try a risk on a rookie card, because those seem to be those have a big opportunity, like a bit of volatile. It could be that rookie could bomb and that card's nothing, or they can excel and suddenly that card is everything. So yeah, I've been, while I give most of the cards I buy away, there are some that I keep when they're obviously, something special that can maybe help make up for some of the thousands of dollars I've spent on just hobby boxes of cards.
Well, I have thousands and thousands of cards that people send me for card art that you can have, and people will do the same to you. All you'd have to do is just say, I want cards and here's where to send them, and people will send you cards, I'm sure.
I'm in a pickle though with not being able to go over to my U.S. postal box. It's like,
right.
But whatever, that's a whole different ball of wax. Yeah. But someone asked on Twitter, I saw how I'm going to do I can't remember the exact wording, but basically make my art down to card size. So the Super Bowl piece I just finished, like this is, Jesus. And there's a lot of detail in there, and obviously this is not a card. So how's it going to look when it's shrunk down? And I panicked about that at first. I was like, oh my God. Like, I don't know. And then I realized one of the biggest compliments I get are on my business cards. And they're the same thing, shrunk down. So you can still see the level of detail. And I actually really like the way that they've turned out. But someone asked how I'm going to change or make it work for a card. And the answer is I'm not changing anything. I am being a little bit more, like if I'm working on a 16 by 20 or a 34 by 28, obviously I can make a lot more finer details and get away with it. But I still have a lot of room to work with on, the baseball, the small. I still make it large and then scale it down. I think you do the same. But so I'm not changing anything is the short answer to that. I'm making sure I don't make anything too tiny and abstract that once it's shrunk down, it's hard to notice. But I also like the idea that the more people look at the card, the more they see, the more they pick up, the more they can tell the story, or hopefully get a piece of the story I'm trying to tell. That's kind of my answer. But it's funny because I did panic about that for a minute, and I was like, "Oh, my business cards."
Yeah.
So I forgot about that.
Yeah, I think yours is going to translate really well to that size. I'm doing bigger pieces now. 30 by 40 inches is the size I'm working on for my originals for this project.
Yeah.
And which is exciting. It's a little bit bigger, tiny bit bigger than I usually work with. So
do you make your originals with the border and all that and like the font, or do you just make the art and then digitally add the name?
This time I'm doing everything with paint.
Last time
I did the team names and stuff digitally.
That's what I'm doing right now. And then I thought before I get too far into the project, I might try just doing it. Now that I know how my first card is locked in, it's approved, I might actually recreate that original larger and make it look like a giant card. And then that'll be the one-of-one on wood. Because I started thinking a lot about what you had mentioned about a gallery, and it would be really cool to do a gallery of, gallery, if I can cross the word. It'll be fun to, I don't know, like I didn't think twice about selling the one-of-one original on wood, and then the more like I've realized how special this is to be creating cards, I kind of don't want to. I want to think about it more before I just like let go of a one of one, because once that's gone, it's gone. You know, like
Yeah.
you don't get it back, or you could buy it back, I guess maybe, but that's something I'm still trying to think about. And
Yeah.
figure out what I want.
So it's interesting. I saw on Facebook too, someone bought an original of Keith Shore's just recently.
Okay.
I think it's Don Mattingly. And I know, like you said, with Topps, you can sell your art, your originals, and somebody else, an artist that Tony's working with, the other artist can sell he's selling his originals. And so I think maybe like I need to go back and look at my contract, because I thought it said that I couldn't sell the originals, but it maybe just says that I couldn't like market with it.
So I asked,
Like sell prints. You did ask specifically for it.
The answer was pretty simple. From what I understand, if you create strictly digital and you're only doing like alterations to photos and kind of stuff like that, and your product is made and done digitally only, then you don't really have a one of one. But for you and I, who maybe have a stencil or whatever, and we work with multiple mediums, and we have something like, you know, an actual physical piece, we get to sell. That's ours, which I was surprised. I honestly, that was a big bonus for me in the contract. I was like, oh, sweet, because one of ones, I do that's a lot of my business is selling originals on wood. So that's from what I understand. So you would qualify for selling your one because you made it in chop. So
just don't know if I'd want to let them go, but I think if I did, I mean, if I were to put them like for sale, it'd be like $20,000 each or something. You know, it'd be cost prohibitively high for most people, but for some people might be like that's fun. You know,
that's kind
and to me, I feel like that's probably a price point where I'd be like, okay, I feel good.
I think I can let it go for that. Yeah.
Right. You know, I don't know.
Yeah, I look at the change in my price just over the past year, and that's part of my hesitation of putting them up right away, because you and I have talked about this, but finding the worth of my originals, like just about a year and a half ago, originals I was selling for $200. So now I am closer to $2,000. So it's like a lot's changed for me. So it makes me wonder. I would hate to sell like my baby, like my first card or something, for a price just because I think that's where I'm at, and I don't know where this project's going or where my career is going. So yeah, it's a bit of a gamble. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. We'll see. But yeah, I can't hang them all on my wall. I don't have space for that. Well, I might, but I feel I might look a little bit like a narcissist if my home is just all my own art.
Mine is.
Well, you probably have some other.
I do. I actually have a lot of other artist work.
If I had a studio, like an actual studio, I would put them in there. But I have a work-live loft, so yeah.
I'm loving the work-live situation we have.
It's perfect, because you know what? I work at such random hours. I felt like find a moment where I'm really excited to do something, and it's like I don't want to pack up the dogs and all my stuff and go to an office at 2 a.m. when I have an idea. I just walk downstairs now and make a coffee, and Mike. I know, Mike. I'm sorry. A lot of the originals do go pretty quick, and I'm trying to find the sweet spot with a price on that. Someone just mentioned that by the time they get the email, original sold, which has been really, really cool. That is not the way it always was. It was not like that before. So, yeah. I don't know how you like focus on talking.
Yeah, I do have Andy's heart also. Will there be AP and gold borders? So there is going to be a gold one of one to chase. And I'm not 100% sure about this, but something that Topps, I thought Jeff had said they were going to do maybe is do 51 APs, but then put them as chase cards in with the base cards. Chase cards in with the base cards. I like that rhymes. And that way, like, you got a way more chance to get like a cool AP. So I think that's how they're going to do it. Whoever asked that, was that Octavio? Yes. I think the APs and the gold are both going to be chase cards that you can get as inserts. Not 100% sure, but that's what I think they're going to do. Also, I think, which would be so sick, is if they make it so people can like subscribe to an artist. So I could subscribe to your cards and just get billed whenever yours come out, and they just ship them to me, which I would prefer.
That's fun because I've actually been thinking about doing that with my prints. So once I get Project70 rolling and I'm comfortable, I've actually wanted to start doing a subscription now that I have enough prints, but have them, the people that subscribe to Lauren Taylor illustrations for my prints, will get a certain set of numbered, especially numbered prints for subscribers only. And that's something I'm trying to, I personally right now don't have the time or the headspace or anything to figure all that out, but it's something I put on my agenda and goals for spring to launch something like that. Almost like, you know, like I get Bark Box for my dogs, where every month I get something and it comes out of my account. It's fun. I open it. I don't really know what I'm getting, but sometimes they're duds. Sometimes it's like, oh, sweet. So I want to do something like that. Hopefully not with duds, but yeah, that's a good idea though too with Topps. I hadn't thought about that for cards. That's a good idea. You know, where they're kind of committed to, and maybe those go out first. I think there has to be some sort of a incentive though to.
Well, like, for me, I mean, I don't know, but this is, I mean, I also just like manually went in and bought all the Project 2020 cards last year of like, I just would do it for the peace of mind. I'd pay full retail price, just be like, I want all the Ermsies, you know, I just, because it's not like a matter of me not wanting to pay $20 for an Ermsy card and that changing after I've bought a couple of them. Like, I know his cards are awesome. I think that's a really cheap price for his cards.
Yeah.
Project 2020 was taking off anyways, you know, it's like a no-brainer. Like, of course I'm going to do it. I just like, I might forget. So if Topps just says, hey, well, you know, you give us the go ahead and we will process your order every time, I think that's great.
That's a good idea, actually.
Yeah. And if it's true, if they do, if really do have that, then I'll tell you, like, one of my immediate focuses is going to be trying to get like a really good kind of like funnel to like engage new fans, explain to them what I do and how the process works, show them, like, walk through exactly how they would subscribe to like buy all of my cards. And if they go through that and do it and subscribe and then like send me a screenshot showing that they've subscribed for all 20 of my cards, then I'll like do extra cool stuff for them.
Exactly.
And like make it a no-brainer. And so like if I can continuously just be adding more and more people to the subscribe list, and of course some people will fall off throughout the year, but that would like become, if subscription is really an option, that'll be my immediate focus, is just figuring out the smoothest track to like introduce new people to the project and get them subscribed.
Yeah, I like that. I've found more and more like the little nuances I never thought about when it comes to making things as simple as possible with a website, and how little things like how fast your website loads and how simple it is. Like even the little hamburger, I call it the hamburger lines, affects your website. Instead of seeing buy prints, buy originals, you know, gift cards. And there's so many little things like that I can't wait to have someone else help me dive into. Because my biggest asset to my company is when I'm at my desk. And I spend so much time away from my desk, shipping, marketing, social media. And you and I have talked about this a lot. So it's going to be great bringing on more people to help as well. And I think this project is going to kind of open that up for me, because I do plan to I will be 100% still doing my normal licensed prints. And I don't know yet if this project is going to drive more sales for that. So if they're going to see my first card and be like, oh, that's cool, but I really like this player and I hadn't seen her style before, and they go on my website and they see I have a print. Will that drive sales for that print, or will it just make them more curious about following the cards that so I don't know what to expect, but I've been really trying to think how to bring more people on board so that I can be more, you know, creating more and also thinking more and more how to, you know, get art to people in a new and exciting way, and also reward people that are repeat customers, because that's important to me.
Yeah. And I would like, something too, and I feel like I tell myself this all the time, is like I wish I focused more on my email list sooner.
It's one thing that you own. It's the only, now that Facebook's changed so much stuff, your mailing list is data that you own in a sense, and it's a quick, direct way to talk to people. I started a mailing list just for the baseball card things, and it's building, and yeah. I'm so sensitive. I get sad when I send out an email because it always means some people will unsubscribe. And I've had to stop looking at who unsubscribed because I saw one of my friends once unsubscribed, and I was like, ow.
Yeah.
I think I need to bring that up one day over lunch. Like that.
Right.
That was hurtful.
That was
Why
cold.
did you do that? That was, I saw that you unsubscribed. Okay.
Yeah.
No, but email marketing's used to be the last thing I thought of when putting out a new piece, and now it's like my priority is to get things like tonight. They're going to get the promo code that I gave on this stream. So
good.
Yeah.
Awesome. What else? Oh, I feel like that's probably a pretty good start.
While you're thinking, I'm going to grab a little bit more water. Get back.
Yeah. What's up, guys? John says Clubhouse. Yeah, I just signed up for Clubhouse today. Yeah, the Snoop Dogg is going to be so cool. JR inserts, chase cards. Can someone explain? So JR inserts or chase cards, they're kind of interchangeable. And that is essentially a special card that people will chase. So here's an example. This is my Bob Gibson card. This one is shiny, like it's kind of foil. That's because it was a insert or chase version instead of the regular version that doesn't have the shine. So 1 in every 20, there'd be one of these printed. So people would buy 20 of these hoping to get this shiny one. That's like an insert or a chase card.
And Topps created that, right? Not you?
Topps did that, yeah.
Oh, I still got a bug for getting a right size sticker for.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, like I said, I ordered them the wrong size last year. And I ordered 50,000 of them.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's great. Perfect.
Yeah.
Still getting business cards that I forgot to tell them not to auto fix a photo.
Right.
So all the wood's like super yellow in these business cards, and I have thousands of them. I'm like,
yeah. My dad also had another just good reminder of FDOT does his Patreon where he charges $5 a card and then sends special content to those members. So that could be another like cool way to engage fans and really spend your time engaging with like the few fans that are, I
love that your family is
like that. Yeah, they're pretty great.
FDOT. So explain that to me more. So he does.
So Patreon.
I guess he does the complimentary cards with it, but.
So Patreon is it's just like a support platform for creators. And so you can set it up in a lot of different ways. But if you create a Patreon, you'll create different reward levels, basically. So you could tell somebody, hey, give me $5 and you'll get this, or $10 and you get this. And then in terms of when they pay, it could either be monthly. So say you can give me $5 a month to get this access, or it could be per creation, which is what FDOT does. So he would, every time he had a card released, he would publish it there first so that they were the first people to see it before anyone else did. And so people were paying like $5 to get the sneak peek of his cards, behind the scenes videos, could be anything you want. So it's an option. Pat Dees, thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, so Patreon is
money in your comments. I need to do this more often. What?
So Pat Dees actually helped me set it up. It's called Super Chat, and it's basically where you can accept tips in your comments.
Oh, very cool.
He helped me set it up, and now he'll pop in and he's
like, see, it works. I just tested it.
Yeah, he also has a radio show podcast about cards. I'll link you up with him. You also get a ton of.
So sorry. Hopefully this explains my lack of responses. I've been just getting by this week as best I can. So Patty's is definitely, I'm still interested. I'm pretty sure you're the one that's been messaging me on Twitter. I will definitely be on your show. I've just been trying to get through this.
Yeah, and that's another good thing. Like I talked about, like having kind of a frequently asked question of like figuring out a system that works best for you for like managing, doing podcasts and YouTube interviews like this, and just so that your schedule, so that you don't miss any appointments, so you don't drive yourself crazy. You still give yourself time for your work. But I do think it's important.
I know Matt was helping you. I know Matt was kind of helping you with that. Like, how many people did you kind of bring on board, or was it just one? Or what things did you keep? Which things did you give away to kind of, if that makes sense? Like, what were you?
I mean, I tried to give away everything except for painting. Don't always succeed at that, but everyone also wore a lot of hats. So like sometimes Matt did help set up some interviews, and still has. Everyone, same thing with like Andy. He had contacts from his old job with these guys that had a sports podcast, and so he like linked me up on that. So everyone will, Matt got me the MLB thing. Tony got Beckett. So that was like the reason that we had so many people getting those is just because people were just doing it whenever they could. In general, like Tess does my podcast, and really she manages my calendar. So anytime there's an interview or charity event or something that needs something, like whatever it is, she's kind of the hub for that. And I've said this before.
Do you have her in-house, or is she someone that you?
No, she's in California.
Good to know, because I need to get on this sooner rather than later. For a good example is people like Pat Deeds, who I desperately want to organize, but I get buried in emails, or, well, this week it was a different story, but where I just, it gets lost. It gets lost in all the shuffle of, okay, I'm doing this that day. Let's try this day. And then I forget to follow up anyway. So it is, it's high on my list. So,
yeah, I mean, everyone is indispensable, but Tess is the glue that holds it all together. And if I were to go back and do it again, I would have hired her first. And I mean, just way sooner. I didn't realize how much time it takes, to manage all that stuff. So it's great. It definitely
social media at one point, and it kind of scared me away from letting go of things. I think because it was the wrong thing to let go of at the time. I let go of the most important part of building my customer base, and learned the hard way that no one can replicate my voice when it comes to talking to customers. And at that point, it wasn't about just the simple responses of, because question I get asked all the time right now is, are you taking commission orders? No, I'm booked through April, and that's as far as I'm willing to book out. And I will announce on my social media or website when I am taking more orders. So I've kind of, that's a response that takes me a few minutes to do, but is such a copy paste for anyone else just to take care of. But there's other things like
start suggesting those people sign up for your email list.
Yes, that would be great. I don't know what I'm gonna be. It's weird. I used to be commission work was like how I paid the rent. Now it's just different. Like, I don't have time.
Yeah. Well, that's perfect. Just perfect segue of currently closed, but this is how you find out when it's coming up again, and you'll get people to subscribe.
Exactly. So, I'm looking forward to seeing. It's always been a challenge for me to let go of control, because I feel like, with anyone, but I feel like I have the ability with during Christmas, for example, all these orders are going out through USPS. I had 980 shipments during December.
Wow.
You know how many of those had missing scans for tracking numbers? About 85%. It was literally I swear I smelled burnt toast all day. Thought I was having a stroke every day, all day, all night, all morning. I had a sweatshop that I ran and I was the employee. It was awful.
Wow.
But I was thinking like, it was so important to me to explain to customers that like I'm very aware of the situation. I'm keeping an eye on it, and but also burnout. I didn't have a chance to do any creating. It was just simply wake up, ship, and check emails and put out this fire, explain this. And even though people knew there was COVID related delays, they couldn't understand why they were suddenly, it showed that it was stuck in Blaine, Washington the whole time. And it would say like awaiting shipment. Like, no, I promised I dropped it off. USPS has been bad about scanning. And so things like that, I need someone who it doesn't get frustrated with the nuance of the same question. For me, I see every single one of those customers as the reason why I get to do what I do. So I have a bit more patience and respond probably more in depth than I need to. Like, this is what's going on. This is what I could tell you. This is what's happening to other orders that went out on that same truck. And asking someone who's not as passionate about my baby, my little business here, has been tricky for me. But it is the one thing that I can't repeat what I did in December again. My body. Okay, I don't know, for those of you that are in your 20s still, enjoy doing an all-nighter while you can, because apparently once you're 33, you think that you have a terminal illness the day after you pull an all-nighter. I thought I was dying multiple times in December. I had pulled 3 all-nighters throughout December, and I was literally like, this is what death feels like. This is what death feels like. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die.
Sure.
I don't even know where I am anymore. So I can't wait to kind of. That's a good problem to have, but I want to have it where I'm still able to like make more stuff, because at the end of the day, people want to see new stuff. Right now, there hasn't been a lot of new stuff because all the stuff I'm working on is with cards. So it looks like I haven't created much other than the Super Bowl piece, but there's actually a lot of creating going on. I just can't show everyone yet. So.
Yeah. Well, soon.
Oh, thank you. I just had a jammer. I just saw Kristen commented that USPS damaged her items, and immediately I was like, oh no, did I do that?
Again?
So, right. Yeah, it was a good time. But by the way, for everyone that said something really super nice or just said hello back, and thank you for the nice words. I appreciate them all. I'm not very good at reading and talking, apparently. But yeah, they're very, very nice. Thank you.
Nice. Awesome.
Yeah. So, what are you? Do you have a card that you are most excited about to make?
Well, none I can talk about.
But is there one?
I'm excited for the one that Dustin shot. I'm very excited for that one. Yeah, it's gonna be cool. I'm excited to do Mark McGuire again.
Yeah, I'll say my biggest. I don't think it's a surprise, but Ken Griffey Jr. is on my list.
Nice.
And he is the one I'm most excited about.
Got him on my
finger.
Yeah, I mean, my Mark McGuire, I'm very excited about. I'm doing him as on the Cardinals, which I haven't done yet, so that's exciting.
Okay. That's fun. Mix it up.
I mean, I have a few that I'm excited, but yeah, I just can't really mention them yet.
Yeah, I will mention Ken Griffey Jr. I'm definitely doing that one, as far as I know, unless it's changed. But that is the one, just because I grew up a 90s kid in Seattle and a huge baseball fan, so I was obsessed with the whole Buhner, Edgar Martinez, Tito Martinez, Joey Cora, Dan Wilson, Griffey, that whole era. So Griffey was kind of at the heart of that for me. So that's one I'm pretty excited.
Nice. Night, Grant.
Good night.
Yeah, Grant's taking off. Awesome. Well, I'm getting pretty wiped too. But maybe let's see. So hopefully on Monday we'll get our dates, and then I'd love to get you back on when your card is close or out or something, so we can like actually talk about the art.
Yes.
Would be fun.
I would love that, and I will quite as beaten and battered, but I would love to chat again. And for those of you, I'm having my 2 minute soapbox.
Plug it. Do it.
For those of you that support Blake, I am grateful because Blake has brought life to sports art. And I can tell you, as someone who's been licensed for 3 years now, I've been told by multiple teams when I go to bring my art that sports and art don't mix. Literally that like exact sentence, like they just don't sell. And when Topps 2020 first came out, this is a funny story that I'll totally admit. I think I might have told you this, but when Topps 2020 came out, I remember reading comments, the first few cards that were released, and I called my business partner. I said, if I'm ever asked to do a Topps art project, don't let me do it because I am not built to read these comments.
I remember that.
Crumble. And I was just like, there's no way I could do it. Like the people are just brutal. Yeah. And then I saw how you handled things, and suddenly the project became a big deal to people. But not just that, but you've kind of, I don't think you realize it, but you've been a key piece of building this community among Twitter and social media, people that genuinely care about one another. And you guys have taken good care of me throughout my surgeries. And I'm very, very grateful for that. As a lot of people on this chat too were part of that. So thank you. But we've started, I always say, I feel like I picked the right time to like jump ship on a comfortable career to do sports art, which sounded really weird 3 years ago, but suddenly it's a smart thing to be doing. And 3 years ago, like, what? You want to make art of sports and hope it sells? Like, okay, you're going to leave your investment company? Good luck. So yeah, I really feel like you're a huge part of that. And there's, I know I'm not the only one that thinks that. I think you're awesome. I love that you bring artists onto your show to kind of give them kind of a leg up and introduce them to people. And I hope I can do the same once I have enough people to help me set things up.
Absolutely.
Right, asking me to start a YouTube channel is like, because this is like, my assistants are lazy as fuck.
Yeah, you should do it.
Nothing. She just takes my food.
Yeah.
Requires petting, and she never does any of the work here. Nothing. She does nothing. Neither does the other one. I have to do everything. So, thanks for all that you've done for the project, and thanks for all that have supported on Twitter. You guys are awesome.
And plug your promo code again.
Oh, promo code Project70, all one word, lowercase. If you're not on my mailing list, if you just go to the homepage, a pop-up will come up. We're at the bottom of the screen. You can enter your email. I do my best not to spam people, but I do send an email every time I make a new piece. So if that's too much for you, sorry. But you'll get the promo code through the mailing list tonight as well. So thank you. I could not be more excited to drop my first card.
Nice. F-Dot in the house too, man. We had a star-studded
we did.
Cast.
I feel like your whole family's here, so I'm going to give my entire family shit tomorrow. Like,
they always are.
Blake had like his second cousin's mother's son's friend from a different marriage there, and you.
Yeah. Got the whole squad.
My dad's money. So just last thing, I call my dad, and he cracks me up. He's so honest, but he gets excited about this baseball stuff for me. He knows how much I love baseball, but he just retired, and he's like built for retirement and built for COVID. The man could quarantine for life. And
I feel like that sometimes.
Just in the middle of a call, be like, instead of like pussyfooting around it and being like, oh, there's dinner in the oven, I gotta run, or your mom's ready to eat, he'll just be like, I'd rather watch TV now. just done. Just tells me and does it in the most loving way, but it's just like,
yeah,
I don't really want to talk anymore. I'm just ready to watch TV.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love it.
Yeah. So he cracks me up. He will just shut it down. Like, nope, no excuses. So that's what. You should just do that right now. Be like, we're done. I need to go watch some TV, and then just hang up.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I always end it with "Stay awesome."
Yes, I love that. So let's chat more. Thank you for all your help and advice with this. And I know I'll be asking you more questions offline as I have been throughout the last few months, but
yeah, anytime.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, have a great night.
Thanks to all of you. And if I missed any of your kind comments or questions, thank you. Feel free to send them to me on Twitter if you did ask something that I missed. I don't think we did, but if you did, send me a note and I'll get back to you.
Sweet. Bye, everyone. Thank you. Stay safe. Stay healthy.
Bye.
Stay awesome.